necessarily those of 1010XL 92.5 FM. Now, recruiting tips, advice, and better ways to train. B3 Better presents The Amateur's Edge with Jerrian Sanders, Randy Wade, and A.D. Roberts.
Good morning, and welcome to the Amateur's Edge. This is A.D. Jerrian is in the house, and my
back, baby. I'm back.
So we got the heat back, baby. We got the heat back.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Let me tell you guys. I'm just
we got the
go
heat
ahead.
back, fellas.
I wasn't gonna talk about this today, but we've been getting complaints.
Complaints?
Complaints about what, man?
About
what?
how corny Randy is, how corny his
Bro,
jokes are.
right.
I mean, they're so elementary, man.
Bro,
I'm sitting there listening. I'm like, should I call? I'm not even gonna give this the time of the day.
Right.
This
No, I'm
dude
thinking about
Were you
this
even
thing.
listening to
I'm
last
thinking about
week's
the-
show, man?
is the biggest corn dog. We need to wrap him with bread, and he's
No,
just
I just-
corny.
Man.
He can't help it. And see, he got his sparkly shirt on today, so I don't know, man.
Bro, this is blame, bro.
There him is. There him is.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Now we got a good show today. So Jay, tell us about what we got going on, man.
So we got a local kid. Well, I should say local legend.
Right, not a kid.
Living legend. That's his brand. DeMarcus Walker coming on the show today. Sandalwood product. Local kid here from Jacksonville, played at Florida State. Was an All-American at Florida State. Was a part of that 2013 national championship team. Got drafted by the Denver Broncos in the second round. Went on to play for the Texans and the Titans, and just signed a huge deal with the Chicago Bears. So DeMarcus is gonna come on today and tell us a little bit about his journey.
Is he gonna tell us how
Paper.
huge the deal is? I mean, that's what I want to know how
You
huge.
can always look that
Yeah,
up.
you can look up all players' money they make.
Oh, we just look it up.
Oh, yeah.
We aren't gonna talk about it.
I mean,
Sure.
I don't talk about other people's pockets, man. You know
Nah,
what I'm
not
saying?
really.
I dress too crispy. You know what I'm saying?
Crispy, like as in Captain Crunch crispy, or
No,
what?
as in like the outside of Popeye's chicken is crispy. That's the way I dress. You know
Good
what I'm saying?
deal. Good deal.
All right, I'm just gonna leave that there because it's just so. I could go so far with this. Bruh, we
But
not gonna do
shifting gears a little bit,
Thank you.
Game 2 of the NBA Finals is this evening, Denver versus the Heat. Who you got this evening, Randy?
I am going with the Miami Heat all day long.
that.
And what
No,
makes you
Randy,
think
wait,
that?
Randy, because now you remember last week you was talking trash about the Heat. Remember?
Hold on, about the Heat. I thought the Heat. I was talking about Jerrian's brother. I didn't say nothing bad about the Heat. I didn't say the Heat. I said the Heat was going to win in
No,
7.
do we need to rewind
Yeah, we
last
do.
week?
I said the Heat was going to win in 7 last week, and they won in 7. No.
I don't remember you saying that because you was like, because when I said the Heat, you were like, you sure you want to say that, bro?
No. So the Heat did beat.
Well, I know.
They won last week
Yeah.
to
So
make it to the
I
championship.
was on the
Yeah.
Heat last week. I was on the
Okay.
Heat. Yeah. I'm going with teams that play hard. It's not. I don't really have a dog.
So
in the
Denver
fight.
don't play hard.
I think defensively, I think Miami Heat play harder than Denver.
So did you see what happened the other night?
I seen what happened. But if you really paid attention, they still had a low scoring average. They got blew out, but they didn't score as much as they averaged the whole playoff.
Well, I personally don't think the Heat stand a chance. Jokic is just that good. He's on another planet right now. Nobody's even in his area right now. He's just a whole nother level that you hadn't seen in a while.
I got you, but I think Spoelstra is the MVP of that whole. He's the most valuable person in that whole arena.
No, he's definitely underrated.
And I think that he needs to take it back to the old school. When you got somebody like Joker, like I think you need to run. Even you see in the second quarter, they was running up and down the court and they was shooting a lot of 3-pointers or whatever. You know, 3-pointers not going to win the game or whatever. I think you need to run, and I think you need to take the ball to him, get him in foul trouble. Like, go back to the old school, man.
No, Spoelstra is underrated, man. I think he's a phenomenal coach, and people don't give him nearly the amount of credit that he deserves. He's taking these boys.
They give
like,
it to Pat Riley instead
Yeah.
of giving it to him. They even though he's a grown man now, he's really, they give it to Pat Riley versus giving it to him.
No, he's a great coach, man. But I just think Denver, they've been together for a while. The bench is phenomenal. I was talking to somebody the other day about Michael Porter Jr. I don't think y'all remember how good this dude really is before the
know.
injuries. Like, Michael Porter is a top 5 talent.
Definitely.
He has the talent to be a top 5 player in the league, without a doubt. And I think he's starting to hit his stride now. He's playing better defense. He's moving well, shooting the mess out of the ball. And then you got Joker facilitating the offense, doing whatever he wants to do
And
at any time.
Murray, all them boys.
You know, so Murray playing on another planet. So it's just I don't see the Heat standing a chance, even with Hero coming back.
What you got it going in?
I say in 5.
So you
I think the Heat will squeeze out 1. I think Denver gonna win tonight. I think the Heat, they're gonna go down 3-0 and then win one. That's my prediction. They're gonna go down 3-0. They're gonna win one. We're gonna bring it back to Denver so them boys can win their championship back home.
So you say 5, right?
And 5.
All right, so let's make a bet. So if they win in 5, we do a beard bet. You know my beard look better than yours. So like let's do a beard bet. But if they don't win in 5, you got to cut your beard. I want like some chops.
No, I don't have that much trust in them to be betting with them boys.
If it was Georgia, it'd be a different thing, right?
It'd be a totally different thing.
I got you.
Totally different thing. Next thing on the agenda, Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, man.
Leaving this show.
I know. I'm thinking about doing a Shannon Sharp right now, man. Get a buyout, man. I'm kind of.
It really wouldn't matter, though.
How much would my buyout be?
You're easily replaceable.
37 cents.
99 cents.
My buyout
Buy
be
some fries. Some fries.
No, bro, I think I'm more valuable to the show
some
than that.
fries
Man.
from McDonald's.
I bring that, bro.
We just auction off the hat and get, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, man. I think it's a big thing. It's about respect, man. It's about respect, and
So he felt disrespected, or what?
I
don't really know the whole story behind. I don't think anybody knows, right?
it's not out there yet. It's gonna come out there eventually. But a lot of people think it's because of the DeMar Handler situation, where Skip was saying something to the point of that he wished they would have played the game, and I think it struck Shannon Sharp wrong, and you could just see different times on the show where he kind of disrespected him as a man. And it's kind of crazy about character, man. A lot of times when certain groups of people act out of character, it's accepted. But I'm going to keep it real. A lot of times when African-American people act out of character, then they're labeled. So there's a lot of times that Skip was out of character to him and being disrespectful as a man. But a lot of times, like I tell you, man, if an African-American person would do that, especially a big Hulk-looking dude would do that, people would look at him a certain type of way.
Some of the stuff that I heard was based on like some creative control as well.
I heard it.
I think over the years, Shannon has morphed into a power figure, in this industry. And, once you get to a certain point, you do have your own views and you do see things a different way. And if you don't have the ability to make those decisions, it becomes an issue. And you see it all the time, man. You see it all the time. And so for me, it's, we don't really know. I'm sure Shannon's going to continue doing something, though, right?
And then somebody said last week on the show, they was like, leave while you're hot. And they was talking about going into the NFL or whatever. But I feel it's the same thing with Shannon Sharp. He's hot right now. So he's able to have creative content and do whatever he want to do in whatever lane he wants to be in.
No, he definitely has that. He definitely. So, we definitely wish Shannon all the best.
Question to you, is he more popular right now as tight end? Not right now, but was his stage bigger as a tight end, or is his stage bigger now with his voice?
Definitely now. Shannon's
won 3 Super Bowls, man.
Shannon's is semi a household name now. People didn't know who Shannon Sharp, the football player, was outside of people in the football world, right? People really didn't know who he was. So he's definitely morphed into a larger than life figure in the media spectrum.
Yeah, that's big.
Without a doubt. So it's just one of those things where, we'll see where it goes and wish him nothing but the best.
Hey, fellas, let's see if we can pay some bills real quick. Let's do that. This segment was brought to you by Bank of England Mortgage Jacksonville, helping home buyers and homeowners accomplish their financing goals. Head on over to www.boejax.com and get to know their dedicated team. You've been listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I open the door and take you inside the locker room to get you closer to the field, the players and coaches you care about.
Get a look at Hayes' blog on 1010XL.com.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing,
where quality and experience count.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
She may be a Yankee, but the girl knows ball.
And someday she's going to be a real big star.
Catch Mia O'Brien on XL Primetime weekdays, Helmets and Heels Tuesday nights, and on 1010XL's video and social channels. Driven by Arlington Toyota.
Does your home or building need painting?
For over 20 years, Performance Painting has had the privilege of preserving many of Jacksonville's most prominent buildings. That said, we feel like we're just getting started. I'm Jason Parker, and our team thrives on preparing, protecting, and preserving the homes, businesses, and public buildings that make up our local landscape. Contact us today to put our years of experience to work for you. Performance Painting, prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting! Come to Bowden Eye for all your eye care needs. Hicken here. Did you know that dry eye disease affects up to 60 million Americans? Dry eye disease is known to progress. Dry eye disease is one of the most common but least diagnosed eye conditions doctors see in their patients. Many of us who have dry eye may not even feel it. At Bowden Eye and Associates, visit today for your personal consultation. Keeping the First Coast focused. Bowden Eye and Associates. New location now open off County Road 210 in St. Johns County.
Hey guys, I'm Daniel Heilman from the brand new Fourscore Golf Tavern. We do elevated food, drinks, and golf simulator fun. If you're looking for a delicious meal or maybe a spot for a client, we have lunch specials every day. Need to entertain a few people from out of town? Easy. Just reserve one of our 4 simulator bays. Lunch service starts at 11 a.m. daily. Located in San Marcos Square, we'll see you at lunch at Fourscore Golf Tavern.
There's a world of difference between and that's why you can trust Famous Automotive and Tire when it comes to your vehicle's care. Because there's a difference between and. It all starts with the triangle of safety. Your tires, brakes, and the front end. Take care of those 3 points and your car will take good care of you. Start at Famous Automotive and Tires. 7 locations servicing every customer like they're famous.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's the Amateur's Edge, brought to you by B3 Better on 1010XL.
And we're back.
Had a little remix going on there.
Yeah, we did have, ain't nothing wrong with a little remix. Where's that little womp noise? We can get that in there. Oh, man, but much love.
Okay, here we go.
You gotta love Rob, man. You gotta love it. All right, but listen, we are back. You're listening to the Amateur's Edge, and today we have an amazing guy on here. We have a legend here, a local legend here, Jacksonville. DeMarcus,
Living legend, to be exact.
Living
that's
legend,
his brand, right?
That's his brand.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. DeMarcus Walker of the Chicago Bears, from All-American at FSU. He played for the Broncos, the Texans, the Titans. Listen, he's on to talk about his roller coaster journey to the NFL, man. Welcome. Glad to have you on, man.
What's going on, fellas?
Not much. How you doing, D-Walt?
Not much, Jay.
Good,
How
man.
you doing?
Good, man. We're just checking in with you, man. Coming from Jacksonville, man, a very competitive place, man. You've always been a big athletic guy. Did you play any other sports growing up?
Oh, yeah. Track was my second favorite sport. So track was something that I took seriously.
What was your weight back then?
I started running track in middle school. So I was probably between 180, 200, but high school I got up to about 270 pounds.
You was 200 pounds in middle school?
Yeah.
What events was you running?
I was the best hurdler. I was our fastest hurdler. I was third best high jumper, and then I did the 4x4, and then the 200 as well.
That's crazy. You was an athlete. That ain't even an athlete. You was an athlete with an F.
With an F.
You know what I'm saying? But what's crazy, I'm looking at your size, you're 6'4", you're 280 pounds, and I'm like 6'2", 6'3", 280, but I'm just wondering, maybe mine's in the wrong place or something. But I really, really looked after you when you was in Jacksonville. I really followed you in Jacksonville, and you are definitely a staple person. I just want to let you know that I appreciate you because you're a person that people can look up to.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
For sure. So what do you feel about young athletes playing dual sports? You think it's important?
Yeah, I mean, it helped me, honestly. I think that everybody should at least run track because of just, what it does for you, speed wise, getting, that those fibers, that technique down, the running and everything. I think football don't really teach that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think track brings a different experience towards that.
That's huge. So growing up, did you always want to play in the NFL?
What? Since I was a baby. I mean, growing up, I didn't have no other dreams. Just being a football player.
So it wasn't no plan B.
No, there was no plan B.
Okay. Oh, that's good. What was the people who was influencing you?
Influence? Honestly, me being the first one to do it, man. The first one to go to college and the first one to, make it. Honestly, I never really had, like, an influence when I'm being the first one. Stephen Nichols was another local that played for the Falcons. I played in the NFL for 7 years. So he gave me a little influence. I gotta be honest with you, Chris Black. When I saw his name, make the Under Armour All-American honors, that influenced me to do better, and that I can make it through. Someone from Jacksonville was able to make it, and then from that point forward, it was just like life. When you see other people that don't make it as far or made it or almost had it, you learn from other people's mistakes or see what they did right and add that to my resume.
That's huge. And so why did you choose football?
Football chose me, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it was just, I can't tell you just, like, how, what it was. I had a cousin, who started playing football, and I used to go to his games. So I can say, like, I had a little influence there. But then, I just fell in love with the game just so at such a young age. I had a passion for it. Like, I craved it, and to where, not being able to put a helmet on to middle school, obviously, I think that was some good for me, so I don't get burned out and have energy and that fire still to this day.
So if you didn't make it in football, what would you be? Because I say that because that's important to kids, because everybody have that dream and that passion like you have, but it's so little, so minute people that make it. So what would you think you would be if you didn't ever make it to the NFL?
Honestly, I think that's a kind of a cookie cutting question because of just how society labels the people mind. I think you can do anything that you put your mind to. Everyone that made it somewhere, they had to fight some type of adversity, injuries, mental battles, and to where just the real world like happens. What it gives you. So honestly, if you really want it, you're gonna weather the storm and go through anything just to get to where you need to be. But to where also, like, I tell everybody just to do what you love and find that passion. Just don't settle for, the money or, to what what you like to do. Do what you want to do what you love to do, and just keep it that way. So that's the better advice I can give to the youth.
And there's a lot of variables that go into that, right?
Yeah.
Because no matter how hard I tried or what I wanted, I would have never been a DN in the NFL, right?
Yeah,
so when you 6'4", you 280, and you can run a 4.6 40, like that's some God-given pieces to it as well. You get what I'm saying?
And just mentoring. I understand, and I respect your opinion, but just mentoring youth, man, it's hard, man, to get them to fall in love with something else because they believe they can be something that is so hard to do. And I'm not telling them don't do that, but it's a lot of people that graduate from college because they want to go into the NFL, and that's the bigger picture for me. Because I seen it to where kids didn't make it to where they wanted to go to, and they chose the streets or they chose drugs or they chose stuff like that. So that's why I'm super big on them learning how big the world is. The world is bigger than football. The world is bigger than basketball. The world is bigger than money. Like, so I get kind of deep when it comes to that stuff, though.
No, I understand, but what people don't really understand is the process and what it took for him to get to this.
Yes.
And
yes.
People don't understand the early mornings, getting up, putting in that work, and him coming to do group sessions, and after group sessions, running extra sprints. Like, DeMarcus, talk a little bit about the work that's been put into it, because people think you just wake up and you 6'4", 280, and you just roll out onto the field and make plays, but it doesn't work that way, does it?
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm. And tell us a little bit about your off-season regimen and what you do to prepare yourself. But not even that. Let's go even further back. Like when you were in high school, like what were some of the things that you did that separated you?
Honestly, high school, that's when I started to get to understand, the difference, of applying myself. And going to Jerrian Gym, that's when I started working, at I think it was called SET then, right?
Yep.
I was going to SET. I met Jerrian through Cane Dog actually, and um, in high school, like it was doing the things that I didn't want to do. Everyone has their high school workouts, after school during the spring. But then, I started to realize that, you got the rest of the day. Now, some guys have jobs. Like those different variables that, you guys explained that to where everybody doesn't have, God gives the ability to, like I have, but also everyone doesn't have to go through the same, don't have to go through the same circumstances that other people have to go through, from working to, taking care of the family, or got to pick up, relatives around, the city. This is a real life problem. So, I was very fortunate enough that to where I didn't have as much as those responsibilities, as much as my family struggled. On my mom's side, my mom still was like, no, you are not allowed to get a job. So, with that being said, I was able to, do the extra stuff, as in having a ladder or using, my dad's, diving board for, foot speed drills. And then, our quarterback, Parker Bayer in high school, Dad had a condo on the beach, and I went over there one weekend and saw Parker doing like sand drills. So then I just added, I jumped in, and started, doing the drills with him. And then next, that started being a routine for me of doing, drills on the sand. Because I was hearing like.
You said your dad's diving board?
Yeah, I was doing foot speed drills.
Up and down? Okay, cool.
Yep, two up, two down, and then to where I use my dad chlorine jugs as my hurdles. Just being very, creative with limited things. And I used to cut yards and go on eBay buying, agility ladders and different type of things to help me get better. It really comes from, God blessed me with, my father, who has a, great, work ethic and very good discipline, and I apply that to my own, craft. And it started there, and then in college, wound up having a slow start to college. I only started with 2 sacks, but then my junior year, I wound up just having a click. Jalen having a lot of success, getting drafted in the top 5 gave me a lot of influence. That I can do it too. So then I wound up I think Jay. I came home during the spring break.
Mm-hmm.
Where everybody went to when everybody went to Panama City, I just worked.
Mm-hmm.
And then to where over the summer, a lot of guys take that first. So how the summer football program work is, I think like summer B, because you got summer A, summer B, and summer C. Summer B and summer C is when you got to be back for workouts and you got to take classes so that you get your tuition and all that stuff going. But then to where summer A, a lot of guys, just chill. But I wound up going back to Jacksonville, training in the gym for about a month or 3 weeks, and then going back to Florida State and just having the same discipline, being like one of the first ones on the field, start staying after, having the details and having the discipline to just continue to perfect my craft and keep going and keep getting better, and just taking it one day at a time. I think that was a lot to do with a lot of success. And then with the league, when I got into college, when I got drafted second round, I had to go through a lot. I had to figure out a lot of things about myself, people around me. I had a lot of different, distractions.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, like a friend of mine passed away, and that was my first time experiencing death. And that had a lot to do with a lot of things I dealt with and having a slow start. I had to get back to my wits, and then I had to, be humble. And then, while I was humble, I spent time to, think about a lot, a lot of my decisions and how things happened and, where I'm at. And then from that moment, once I figured it out, started to work myself out of that hole in 2019, only taking 4 days off, during the off season instead of training and working. Then 2020 wound up, staying and being more consistent, being more detailed in 2021. I think it was a lesson of just showing that to where you don't put the work in, but you got to have more faith to do things more right, and then to where, more effective, and then 2022 was, an off season where I kind of just, whatever I didn't want to do, I did, so, I forced my mind to stay in the uncomfortable level, which made me have a very precise season last year, to where now, being in that mindset and, just like, I saw where Michael Jordan one time talking with a lot of different greats in the room to where, it's easy to, have that hunger when you have not proved nothing. But to keep that same hunger, when you sort of prove yourself is even a bigger challenge. So, that's been, where I'm at, staying consistent and dedicated, also taking care of my body as well.
Definitely. And I watched the transgression over the years, man. And again, I remember, him going to do his school workouts, then he'll come work with us after that. We're in there closing up. He's still in there running sprints and suicides on his own. And man, like I said, people don't really understand that, again, that there's some God-given ability there, but that extra came from the work that was put in. And every offseason is all about adding more. What's next? How do we get to that next level? And he took that approach, and that's what allowed him to be in the position that he's in today, man. So, again, that side of it can't be undermined. And, as when we talk to kids and we get them to understand, again, like, sports is a metaphor of life. Even if he didn't make it in football, those same attributes that he acquired through trying to pursue football, whatever it is you would have figured out you wanted to do outside of that, DeMarcus, that's what it is. And because there's still going to be life after football. And whether it's continuing to grow your brand and do things through that or whatever, you're going to find something else that you're going to want to do because you're going to be relatively a young man when you retire. Right, you're going to 30-something years old, late 30s, if you decide you want to play that long. And so those same attributes is what he's going to use to be successful in whatever he chooses to do in life. So that was huge. Let me ask you this, though. At what age did you know, or at what point did you know you was going to the league? Did you know in high school, or was it a certain point in college? At what point did you know this?
After my junior year, I'm gonna be honest with you. After my junior year,
so you had some doubts early on, like early in your college career.
I've always had a dream, but to where when it started coming to reality, my junior year. You know what I'm saying? Like the dream ever since I was a kid, ever since I was 6, 7 years old. But to where I've always been a humble kid. I've always just walked and just had to take everything with a grain of salt and continue working, and then just through the grace of God, I was able to make do of every opportunity that faced, and start pushing the right buttons, because like I said, like I never had no mentor or no guidance to get to where I'm at. I had to learn everything on my own journey. You know what I'm saying? And through the grace of God, I was able to learn, meet some people, Dominic Pecco, Lavernius Coles, different type of, mentors that helped me influence me, Von Miller, to, become a better man, a better pro, you know what I'm saying? So, I've always had, the want to and the desire is just, trying to figure out, like, how to get there was more so, that took, a little bit of time.
Yeah. So how was your recruiting process? I remember initially you committed to Alabama, then flipped.
Did Chris Black go first before him? He went to Alabama?
Yeah, Chris was a year older than you, right?
Correct.
Yep. So how was it? Was that recruiting process crazy?
Recruiting was definitely cool, because just, having everybody want you and, telling you what you want to hear and having the opportunity to go anywhere in America, besides Stanford, that was definitely a blessing as well. It was good. Alabama was definitely the school that I was loving and committed to and everything. And I think with that, a lot of people never got the full story of what happened. And it was Jeremy Pruitt was my recruiting coach, and he he wound up me and him wound up creating a good, relationship, a good bond. To wind up, I really trusted him with everything, and Pruitt wound up going to Florida State, getting the D coordinator job, and once I wound up, getting a hint of that, he started calling me and telling me that's where he wanted me to go to Florida State with him. So, and then here's the thing with Florida State, I didn't take no visit there. Like, I didn't know anything about Florida State.
Oh my goodness!
I just had, I just went there.
No visits, even though it's right around the corner. No visits.
No, I went there for like a summer camp with my dad one time, but that was really about it.
Dang, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. So those.
I mean,
oh, go ahead.
Like true meaning of walking by faith.
Oh, definitely.
Without a doubt. It definitely played out well for you leaving out of there with a national championship, All-American honors, and getting drafted high. So it definitely played a little bit in your favor. But D, can you hold on for a second? We got to pay some bills, man. We got a couple of more questions to ask you.
All right,
that's huge. This segment was brought to you by First Coast Cargo. First Coast Cargo leads the freight and transportation logistics service market and is known as the region's most dependable and highly professional service provider. Contact First Coast Cargo toll-free today at 844-731-2137 for all your professional shipping needs. You're listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Bridging the gap between the First Coast and the Swamp.
Gators.
I'm Taylor Dahl. Join me for the Gator Report on 1010XL as I break down the latest storylines in Gator Nation.
Brought to you by Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts on 1010XL.
Want a low down payment and a low monthly payment on your next ride? Then you've got to go to Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Mia here. Right now, you can buy a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Corolla for just $1,000 down and $288 a month. Or you choose a pre-owned 2020 Camry, RAV4, or Tacoma for just $1,000 down and $388 a month. With over 400 used in stock plus more than 100 vehicles under $18,000, don't wait. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online at arlingtontoyota.com.
The IRS has just received $80 billion in funding to hire additional agents for aggressive collections enforcement. If you owe the IRS, now is the time to take action before the IRS comes after you or your business. There's no time to waste. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Jacksonville, for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
He's got 55 reasons to listen to Jaguars Today every Friday.
It's always been us versus them.
Tom McManus.
I want that played at my funeral.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. We're your local family jeweler for 46 years in Jacksonville with a huge selection of diamonds, gemstones, and pre-owned Rolex watches. And Monahan Jewelers is your store for expert jewelry repair turned around in 1 or 2 days. Most jewelry stores take 2 weeks or more, and many stores send your jewelry somewhere else for repair. At Monahan Jewelers, our jewelry repair is done in-house by expert craftsmen, and Monahans can turn around most repairs in a day or two. So bring your jewelry repair to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control. Look, warmer weather now means mosquito, flea, and tick season is here. These pests are out for blood, but you don't have to let them win. Protect your home and family with Kingfish Pest Control. As a Kingfish customer myself, I know their products are safe for kids and pets. Plus, with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can relax knowing your yard is pest-free. Call today, mention the Jags to receive 10% off your initial service. That's Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's the Amateur's Edge, brought to you by B3 Better on 1010XL.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we're having an in-depth conversation with DeMarcus Walker, and I'm glad you guys are with us. Marcus Walker of the Chicago Bears, former All-American at FSU, played for the Denver Broncos, Texans, Titans, and he's really had this amazing career. And he's still with us, man. He's still with us. So let's rock and roll.
All right, DeMarcus, I definitely want to kind of go back to the Sandalwood years because that's why I followed you, Chris Black, and all that kind of stuff. My son was younger than y'all, but I was looking for different high schools for him to attend and stuff like that. So I was very interested in y'all process to see how y'all turned out. And Sandalwood, what people don't know, they have stacked, but not even a year, but just period. Sandalwood has a lot of people in college football, Division I. You know, some in the NFL and stuff like that. But how many people was on that team, man?
Y'all had like about 10 D1 players, DeMarcus?
Hello?
He's on? Okay. Yeah, but they had about 10. They had Chris Jones. They had Bodie Matz, who went to Air Force. They had Parker Bain, who went to Duke.
Mm-hmm.
They had Blake McLean and Kane Dobb. All of them went to Florida State. Donald Rocker, rest in peace. He was starting left tackle. Went to Western Kentucky. I know they had a safety that went to West Virginia. And I can't remember who else. It was about 7 or 8 of them that went on to play Division I football.
That's
it's
crazy.
stacked up team.
But the thing that you told me is that they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah. It's rough. It's rough. And, you know, I always say this, man, and as a parent, I don't know if it really matters to me if we win a state championship if my kid is getting a free education. If you're getting my kid into school for free and it's year after year after year, I don't know if it really matters if we win a state championship or not.
No. It's a difference between winning state championship and making the playoffs. That's my thing. That's a big difference. I mean, if you had a team that stacked with Division I players, like it's a difference between you got to make the playoffs. I mean, it's a coaching situation.
Yeah.
DeMarcus, you there? Okay.
I think.
DeMarcus, are you there?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. I wound up getting into my recovery process.
All right, for sure. So we was talking about your team at Sandalwood and how stacked they were. Jerrian just mentioned the names of the players and where they went and stuff like that. But he was saying that like he was cool with Sandalwood for having all those Division I players, and he was telling me that y'all didn't make the playoffs, and I'm like, bro, that's unacceptable.
Jerrian been talking about this tape. This has been said. Whatever. I don't know, man. Hey, I don't know.
What you think? Like, what you think the biggest reason was it that y'all was so good that y'all just didn't mesh together? Because you know how you have a whole bunch of superstars and they just don't play like a team, or you think it was the coaching, or what you think the issue was?
Honestly, our quarterback didn't finish the season healthy, so that was a big reason.
The biggest thing?
Yeah.
All them athletes, man, I would have put you at quarterback, bro.
Something. Put Chris Jones back there, something.
Chris Jones back there, yeah, something like that. That's crazy, man. That was an awesome team, and I was just telling them how it's a lot of Sandalwood out of Jacksonville is one of the most underrated places that you have a lot of Division I players and NFL players. To me.
Yeah. Hey, and you briefly talked about your transition from Florida State to the NFL. Can you talk a little bit more in detail about how that transition was? Like, what was your biggest learning curve making that transition from college to pro? Hello?
Can you say that question again, Jay?
I said you briefly talked about your transition from, college to the pros. And, my thing is asking you, like, what was your biggest learning curve? What was the biggest thing that you had to learn, or the thing that really struck you once you got to the NFL?
Everybody's smart. Everybody's smart. Everybody's strong. And everybody is a pro, so it takes a small detail to get you successful. That's all. Like, that's the biggest thing. So serious.
Yeah, and You're definitely right about that. I had a question I wanted to ask you too, also about mentorship. So you said you named all these names for mentors. Did you find those mentors, or those mentors find you? That's important to me.
Both.
Both.
I feel like God put things in your life, and it's up to you. You know, it's like that whole saying that to where you can't get to heaven just by works, but you can't get to heaven only by faith. Faith without works is useless. So that to where you have faith and you want certain things that people come top of people in your life, it's up to you to, take advantage of the opportunity. So that's where, many people don't walk past me, and then it's up to me to ask them a question about themselves, what they're at or how they're doing. So, it's kind of hand in hand, It's like, if the opportunity's there, it's up to you to seize it.
Were you shocked at the speed of everybody once you got there to the league?
Yeah, sort of. It's just everybody fast. It's just everybody really strong. So that's what I'm saying. Like when the strength in the league is real, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's so smart. I think, when you got
Hey, your phone breaking up just a little bit. Are you talking in the phone or are you on a headset?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm talking on the headset. It's just when you got like Von Miller, who's faster than the running backs, that's different,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is different.
That's definitely different, man. Let's go back to the FSU days and winning the national championship. But y'all definitely was in the limelight with a lot of different players, like having some outside of sports kind of incidents or whatever. Like, how was that, like, behind the scenes? Like, was y'all paying attention to that, or was y'all kind of more focused on just winning the games?
It just depends, man. I think the national championship team, we didn't care about nothing but winning. Like, we didn't care who we played, when we played them. That, whoever was in front of us, they was getting beat.
That's that mindset for real.
Yeah, because y'all did have a magical season that year. They went undefeated. I think Jameis won the Heisman that year.
Yes, sir.
And y'all really, really took off that year.
How many of those guys do you still talk to, man? Because I hear about this brotherhood thing, in college behind the scenes. Y'all talk about brotherhood. How many of those guys do you really, really talk to? And I say that for a reason. A lot of times players pay attention and do things with their teammates and stuff like that, like they're going to be together forever. But, like, a lot of times it doesn't happen like that. How many of those guys you really still talk to?
You got some guys that might still be brothers forever.
Hey, talking to Mike a little bit more in your phone.
You got some guys that still going to be brothers forever, but then, I think guys just kind of, life issue. You start a family, you got other, business aspects, and, they wind up just being kind of just like, you cool when you see each other and everything, but, I see you when I see you type thing. That's just the vibe I got.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Got you. So coming from a talent-rich city like Jacksonville, how do you think it prepared you for competing at Florida State and playing at that next level in the NFL? Because people don't realize, like, I think it might be close to 20-something guys in the NFL now from Jacksonville. It was like what?
You ain't lying.
I
love being from the city because it really gets you right. You know what I'm saying? It's just, we don't have a market to support those kids and put, other business and brands out there, so hopefully, hopefully things turn around and evolve because this city got a lot of potential, and I honestly believe a lot more money can circulate through this city if the city as a total took, a better, mindset, instead of just one-sided, just coming to kid from here being, Denver, Colorado, being in Nashville, being in Houston, training to San Francisco, being in, like, different parts of America. So, like, when I come back home, it's just like, oh, man, this city can be so much better than it is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so big. It's so big, man, and we just so separate, man. Everybody gets their own little hill over here, the little ant pile over here, and they don't network together like in Atlanta or down south and stuff like that. We really don't network.
So what would make this an ideal place? Like, being that we have all this talent, 'cause how many kids was it this year? Like 9 or 10 got picked out of here this year. And next year, probably going to be even more. We got even more. So what do we do to change the culture? And for the listeners out there, what exactly are we talking about as far as what can be done better?
The system. What you say, DeMarcus?
I mean, yeah, the system.
The system, man. The system of helping these kids get their dreams. You know what I'm saying? If their dream is to be a student athlete and stuff like that, just programs. We got so many things that go on that are not helping the kids get to the next level. You know, a lot of these kids are getting to the next level on their own accord and their own talent.
Yeah, so what does that mean? Do we need to have some recruiting services? Do we need to have more seminars?
Definitely more
camps?
More seminars for coaches, more seminars for parents.
Yeah.
Like, come together. Like, my dream is to do a seminar for parents and bring them all together. It's like we're making the same mistakes over and over and over again and not fixing it in the recruiting process, and that's hurting our kids. Our kids are picking the wrong schools. No, for me, a seminar would just be teaching a kid how to use a huddle, teaching the kid how to communicate with college coaches.
To better their recruiting status, right?
All that
teaching them how to use it,
Also, and then teaching them the process of the things that's going to make them better at home before they get to college.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, every time you see a kid go to college, right, he's a certain weight. He get to college for like 2 months, and he done gained like 15 pounds. Mm-hmm. Is that a magical thing, or is that he just not working the right way at home? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? For like DeMarcus, if he was to come back and show kids how his training regimen, like stuff like that, we just network, and we just don't really do it.
Yeah.
In Jacksonville.
Yeah. I know, you see those videos of those guys down south. It's like they come together.
They come together. Rappers, NFL players, coaches, they all come together and do big things in the community. And I just think that we have to, like, just come together, talk a little bit more.
Definitely. When you when you first got to the league, was you playing as much as you wanted to play DeMarcus? And if you wasn't, like, what do you think was holding you back?
Myself, I definitely think I could have played more in the beginning of my career. But honestly, I mean, I had a lot going on mentally. Through the grace of God, I was able to overcome it all. Jay. Honestly, I thought of every reason why I didn't play early in my career, but simply it wasn't God's plans, and and it was up to me to fix it and fight and sign a big deal to the Bears. So I mean, everything I learned right now, it's fine. And then I heard this good old saying, the turtle catches the rabbit eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
DeMarcus, what did you feel like you needed to fix? What needed to be fixed?
I had to evolve, and not be fixed. I had to evolve. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, once I learned how to be on time, then I had to learn what to do to being on time.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I learned what to do being on time, I had to learn how to be effective with being on time. And then to where when I learned how to be effective in what I was doing, then I started punching, the right, the buttons. And then once I learned that, I had to be able to learn how to be uncomfortable under, evolving. And that's the biggest thing in anybody. I don't care what nobody says. If you've been in the NFL, if you've been a doctor, if you've been in the podcast, like learning how to be uncomfortable, evolving, learning how to be. That's why you have elites, people in the massage therapists for the Olympics, or people who are professional athletes, or people who have talk shows that have sponsors like crazy. It's all about evolving and being uncomfortable. Once you feel like you say that, I got it, or this is where it's at. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people that just like, hey, I'm satisfied where I'm at. This is happy where I'm at. This is where I need to be. I don't knock any of those people, but I mean, for the mission I'm on, to where living, wealthy and having cash flow coming in, there's no breaks, and you have to keep evolving, learn how to be uncomfortable, and I had to learn that.
And I got one last question for you. So I hear just the humbleness, and more than that, I hear the spirituality. And my big premise is that, can you tell us, we don't have much time, but can you tell us how does spirituality play a part in all of this evolving and all this stuff?
That's where it starts. It starts there. It starts in the spirit. Then once the spirit taps into the mind, and once the mind follows, the body gonna follow. We all know that. So I mean, it starts there, and then to where Eddie George was just in the building 2 weeks ago. Walking around and then seeing how the team runs, and to where and the things that God has been tapping on me to control and get better on. You mentioned it, to where it starts spiritual, mental, physical, taking care of, your surroundings. So,
That's
once you, understand those, 4 aspects of life and understand how to take care of those aspects, then I feel like, you start, going in the right direction. That's your passion and whatever you call it to do.
Yeah, and man,
That's a wrap.
Man, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate having you. Thank you for being on the show. You gave us a lot of great things, man.
And I can't tell you how proud I am of you, man. You didn't mention, about how you got better with detail and how you, really locked in on, really perfecting your craft. And like I said, like year in and year out, it was about being more and more detailed. It wasn't just about coming in, working out hard. It was about paying attention to detail, having set plan, everybody working together to create an ecosystem around you to get you to the next level, man. So keep doing great things, man. I can't tell you again how much I'm proud of you, man, and stay blessed up, my brother.
Yeah, stay blessed.
All right, man. Thank y'all for your time, man. God bless.
All right, thank you.
Man, this is a great show. This is a great show. Listen, this is exactly what we do every week. Make sure you guys tune in next week. Next week at 11 o'clock. You do not want to miss the next episode of The Amateur's Edge. You have been listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Jerrian, man, make sure, you be uncomfortable with brushing your teeth.
Break Bread with Dan, Jeff, and